What role has failure played in shaping your career trajectory?
I would say that failure has given me a really strong backbone. Um, I so I would say it's also strengthened me as a person, and it's made me much more. It's made me smarter. It's made me more street smart. It's made me more aggressive, and it's made me stand up for myself, too. I would say what I would consider to be my biggest failure. I don't really like to say failure though, because it's kind of brought me to where I am today, and it was a huge learning process. But it would have been my specialty food store that I had. Julienne's. It was a gourmet bakery cafe. I modeled it after Foster's, a little bit after like a Dean and Deluca Barefoot Contessa type store. It was exactly what I wanted it to be as far as the inside. But I jumped the gun with that. I did it much sooner than I should have. I didn't really know what I was doing, and we also spent way too much money on it. And we built the store when the economy was great in Las Vegas, so everyone was trying to get a space. There wasn't a lot, so they gave me this bad space around the back of a building. I never had a business before in town. Contractors, I'd never worked with contractors before. I just didn't know what I was doing. So they'd give me an estimate. Oh, sure, that looks good. I didn't know about, getting all these different quotes. So, it was a very expensive um, process, and a very expensive learning process too. Because the store itself, like I said, I loved it. I loved the store. We had great customers. Um, we just didn't have the market for it in Las Vegas. Las Vegas is very much a chains and franchises town. You drive down Eastern Avenue on a Friday night and you see Chili's and Applebee's, and they're packed, and then there's these great mom and pops that are empty, and it just kills you if you know, and they're fantastic places. It's just not the kind of place like maybe like Brooklyn, where people like to seek out the little known places. And so that was, I think I wanted to open it so badly that I was going to do it no matter what.
Yeah.
And that was not smart. I should have looked at what this all the signs were telling me, and maybe done something a little bit different, or maybe waited a while, because then the economy started going south and we just ended up having to sell the store. Um, Looking back though, that made me a really much stronger person, because it was such a tough and expensive learning process. And now I really stick up for myself when people are trying to haggle me with price. I know about working with contractors. I know about working with distributors. I'm just much tougher, because when you lose a certain amount of money, you don't want to do it again. It hurts, it stings, and it stays with you. So like I said, it was a failure, but it did teach me a lot.